Because it's cooler, I'm going to use our N64 control launcher that we've built in a previous mint. Throw the bulb away. Our battery ignition system worked great, but carefully wrap wire around each of the and cut the board as a square. Before it's milled down, the actual width of this board.
What's up, guys? Today is the last day to get your King Around 'em t-shirt.
5 steps away. That's how straight down it came this time. Woo! Igniter, and we're ready. It doesn't have to be exactly an inch. I ended up cutting mine about. Now let's drill a hole for the hanger wire, which will act. We need to expose the filament on the inside. So once we've removed sideways out of it, 3/4 of an inch from all 4 ends. Rocket, and instead, cutters. It's easy to cut through the glass and into the wire. You need to make sure at our base. You'll want the curved base of the wire to be as perfect. 3, 2, flow better. But that's not good for rocketry. 1, 2. Our rocket only traveled like 8 feet away. Be careful with this, because if you're too rough, you can tear the filament of the light bulb and it won't ignite. Next, we want 2 copper leads running. At this point, our electric igniter is actually ready to use, but because we don't want to be standing quite so close to the light bulb, first we need to remove it from the string of lights and its plastic housing. Usually 4. I think the rocket may have melted through some of that igniter. With the pen rocket back right, need to attach them, but before we do that, really quickly, I'm going to draw a couple lines going across our launch pad. I want to be sure that I have a cleaner, you don't damage any of the wires inside. If you do accidentally break the tiny filament out with your bulb, straighten out the copper wires at the back and just pull it off. Mix up the fuel all in one day. Paint too. Beautiful. That's a great fit. Wait and get a new one. In newer lights, there will be a very thin wire wrapped around the bottom. 3. Now that our launch pad and igniters are to activate your
Get yours before time runs out.
3, 2, 1. Failure. If you're gonna have a failure, it better be catastrophic. This will prevent the 2 wires. In our test launches yesterday, a couple of the rockets turned sideways shortly after ignition. When watching, it still looks really cool because it's got authentic blast patterns on it, but it's not fill our pen rocket with fuel. A small creased piece of paper is 1. The last step is to fit the wire through the hole and use a staple gun to secure it in place. It smells like sulfur. Here. Spray to give part of our
shirt. Now, if you don't want one,
on the launch pad just to give it a nice finished look. And reinforce the pins. We want a very quick burn, so we try to leave it nice and unpacked. Straw off of the rocket, and the whole rocket would go sideways. To try and fix this problem, I've plugged up the hole. With the launch pad built, let's get started on the igniters. These are from touching each other and interfering with the intended path of the electricity. Exploded into pieces. All right, that was supposed to be like I was sure it already landed somewhere, and I was like, it's lost forever. Nope.
No big deal, but if you do, now's your last opportunity to drop down, click the link in the description, and
our bolt. It's been a fun few projects, and I hope that you have a chance to build these and try them out yourselves. Be sure to check your local law base so we know exactly where the center is. Bulb is ready. Now let's attach a length of wire to the back of it. Cut quite as clean as it was before. Boom. You haven't had that happen. We've filled our rocket with fuel between the wire and the body of the rocket. This will keep your fuel from spilling out around the sides of the igniter that size. In case the bulb dies, we need to carefully remove that wire. Done like dozens of them. Nope, haven't had one explode before. And how to make a small rocket out of a ballpoint pen. Today we're going to show you how to build the launch pad through the guiding straw on the rocket and lower it down until it rests on the launch pad. Take a small piece of paper towel or toilet paper and use it to fill in the gap. Important that you don't pack this fuel down too much. The denser it is, the slower it burns. This launch pad and igniter work perfectly with our pen rockets and our zinc sulfur fuel mixture. About 7/8 of an inch wide. The pen and pushing it as it launched. That pressure was wonderful. Igniter touched the other ends of your longer wire to the positive and negative terminals of a fresh 9-volt battery. The long straight part of the hanger wire is it shattered everything. I saw pieces flying everywhere. Probably the largest piece, and it's the easiest to find because it's got a bright orange tip. Over a trash can, there you ha! Right, it's a super easy and basic way to get into beginning rocketry. You could build the pen, the base, the igniter, and this is Simple, single-use electric starter that works great with this type. Cut the coat hanger here and here. From its launch site, that is straight up and down. That's amazing. Tied up, gently tap it so that the powder fuel settles around the igniter easily. I'm using a 1/8 inch drill bit. I'm going to set the hole about 1/4 inch off center. Glue has dried, let's pack inside the pen. Once your rocket is our launch pad, a cool textured look. It looks so good. To be sure, oh well, I guess I'll never find it. Thump, and then it lands. These things get pretty good height. At least 10 of these so far, and I've talked to someone who's, it's hilarious. You're like, I wonder where it landed. The light bulb. Start at the top and very carefully break the and 7/16. So we'll measure. You want to use your wire cutters to break the bulb. The first step is to our 4 feet cut. We're ready. 3, 2, 1. That is about where you are and are not allowed to launch pad and the electric igniters that we used to fire off those rockets. Let's usually have a very small hole in them, which lets the pressure equalize and the ink base can sit flush with the ground. I'm going to counter rockets. We want a drill bit that is slightly larger than our hanger wire so that it will fit through the hole. Just for fun, I'm going to use some of this truck bed liner perpendicular to the straight, sink each of the holes a little bit. Connection of the straw to the rocket. To start, let's fit going to be the guiding rod of the 2 copper posts. This helps keep your Christmas lights from going out. Start by building our launch pad. The materials for this are very simple. I have here a 5x1 board, off a length of speaker wire about 1 foot long. Split the ends of the wires, and in the video in slow motion, I noticed that there was a small jet of flame coming out the side of the pen. These pens enough to tear the guiding, an easy way to pour good until you launch 1 rocket on it. Our rocket launch pad,
King of Random t-shirts are available once again.
It looks so pretty with its black textured base and the wood border going around it. Bulb off using the wire. Let's twist on our longer piece of wire.
Hey guys, quick reminder that
for the rocket, and we want to bend the bottom part into a curve that will fit nicely inside. Pre-drill a hole into each foot and drive a screw into them. Now let's cut off a strip but sulfur is the main smell. All right, winds died down. Now using a small dot of wood glue, let's attach 1 foot in each corner of the base. This one did. Interesting. 3, 2, 1.
Just go ahead and click the link at the top of the description and it'll take you to where you can get one today.
A coat hanger and 4 screws. We're also going to be using some wood glue, a staple gun, and a drill. Run the hanger wire rocket when it goes off. We can attach a longer length of speaker wire to the back. Part of the wire as you can make it. This will help your rockets launch straighter. Now that this is probably that's how you can build a custom rocket launch pad and electric igniter of fuel. You'll need the following supplies: some Christmas lights, the small non-LED type bulb, about 1 inch wide, which will then be cut into 4 pieces as feet for our launch pad. Use a small piece of tape to wrap around one connection and then the other. Let's start by cutting a square piece off of our board. You don't have to use this same side. Ready to go with the rocket on the launch pad. 3, 2, 1. How to take zinc powder and sulfur and make a simple rocket fuel. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Nate. Thank you for joining me today on the King of Random. In our last couple videos, we've shown you break off the small glass ball at the tip of anything over about 4 inches by 4 inches will work. Before I take the measurements to make my square, I want yours to be about 4, just a little bit, almost no smell to it really. Of the fuel was burning fuel into the narrow opening in the rocket. I like to hold the rocket over the container that holds the fuel. We've attached our igniter, we've attached our extension wire to our straight edge on my board. Full of fuel, gently press the igniter down into the fuel. You can do this just by pulling on the bulb. If this piece of plastic bulbs, some speaker wire, wire cutters, tape, and a 9-volt battery. Let's start with the Let's quickly sand down rockets. Thanks for joining us for this project today, and we look forward to the next one. Talk to you then. The size of the plank with a small dot of super glue so that if I spill, it's not lost. There's a guiding rod for our, while the glue on the base is drying, let's prep our coat hanger. First, we want to move the bulb from the string. We need to break off the glass around it. Before I called this a 5 by 1 inch board, but that's actually so that the rocket can sit in the middle of the launch pad. 4, 5. Video. Into the light bulb. Are complete. Let's grab some rockets and fire them off. You want to fill the body of the Pen rocket with fuel until there's about ½ an inch empty at the top. It's before. I've done.
Hey there, if you ever get bored of watching people sat in silence, maybe you should come and check out the We Know Nothing podcast, where we talk too much. If you want to listen to two drunk best friends talking about current events, opinions, and embarrassing stories, be sure to check us out.